appreciate the guilt and the sound. You still appreciate our human hell. What a way to participate in this. Now the righteous and damned understand. Well, there's no order of. There's a devil.
All right. Well, welcome to Hobbs Metal Show. I see we got another band member here to join us. We got Cody, we got Dave, and Jolly. Is that or Jody?
Yep. Jody.
Jody. Okay. All right. So welcome to the show. I'm glad to have you guys on here. I kind of want to get a little history of the band. If I remember correctly, you started in 2015. Is that correct? Or around that time as a band?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah. Okay. So, go ahead, Jody.
I think it was 2015, something like that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you've been around for quite a number of years now, and then I guess the album Alpha is which your latest output you got, and I guess that came out last year, about May this time last year. So, kind of what kind of led up to the band? What did you do up until this point to when the album came out?
A lot of different drummers, for one thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like the three of us, it's been us, and then we just kind of worked with several different drummers, just trying to find somebody that could hang in there with us. But it took a long time, and then when it just happened to be the drummer that we had before Adam was having to quit, and then Adam moved down here, so just about the right time, everything worked out with him.
Awesome. So all right, so the album itself has been out for about a year now. So have you had pretty good success?
The 25th will be 1 year actually, so we're coming up very soon.
Awesome. And you've got pretty good fan presence and good exposure with that album coming out then?
It's been doing pretty good. Yeah, definitely.
For our area and what we do, I'd say we're doing pretty good, and we we're not on any label or anything, so we distribute it ourselves, sell it ourselves, so
Well, I know a lot of bands nowadays
pretty well.
Doing that
I think we're almost sold out of our first box.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And the folks over at Metal Devastation, they've helped a lot as far as our PR and everything, and really pushing us.
Yeah, and see, I didn't know this at the time. When I just came across you guys, just randomly popped up on my YouTube feed, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Like this,
cool.
I was instantly hooked. First couple seconds of the song, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I'm really digging this. So I got in and checked out whatever else I could find, and that kind of led me to buying the shirt, getting on your Facebook, and buying the shirt. I got the CD.
Hell yeah!
Big ass CD, by the way. But I found out just actually not too long ago, after I'd already set up the interview with you guys, that you guys were set up with Metal Devastation and Zach, and we get emails from him, promoting, to help promote bands and stuff. And I was like, wow, what a coincidence. But cool. I know that guy sends out a lot.
Yeah, usually it's
a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Usually it's them getting us to someone new. So.
Yeah, and somehow or another, I looked at email that had you guys in it, because I went back and looked, and I was like, holy crap, that was in there. I just overlooked it, because he sends out so many bands, it's hard to keep up with all the stuff. So he's a very hardworking man. So you definitely get your money's worth out of that man.
Yeah, he's awesome.
All right, I guess I want to get with you had 2 tracks, Cosmic Guns and Hey Man. I guess those were older tracks that were previously recorded. The way it sounded on the CD here, that they were previously tracked, so I kind of figured those were older songs. Did you have other songs that you already had recorded that just didn't quite make it to the CD?
Yeah, well, we go ahead.
Our self-titled song, and
Jake and Elwood. Those those were released as singles.
Yeah.
And yeah, the two that you were mentioning though, those two we done, and with Hey Man, it would, Cosmic Guns was released as a single too, and we also, but we kind of had that like remastered and changed that up a bit and put it on the CD. But Hey Man was one of those that like it took a while to get it right as far as the recording is,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, those are definitely great songs. And you were mentioned the Jake and Elwood and the song "The Red Mountain."
Mm-hmm.
Both, those songs are really kick ass too.
Mhm.
So the album, you've gotten pretty good response then on when you're selling them. I mean, obviously you said you're almost sold out, so you've got pretty good distribution within at the shows and stuff, and selling them through your Facebook page.
I think we've done really good selling them at shows, definitely too. Yeah. And people, ordering them and stuff too. Yeah.
That's awesome. So we introed with the video Sith. That's your latest video, and looks like it's doing really, really well. It's got 21,000 views in just the 2 months that it's been up.
Yeah.
What was it like to record that video and get that put together?
Man, Dave, you froze. Dave's not moving. Anyway,
I think we might have lost Dave, but it was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Dave did more work on it, but maybe he'll get back on here.
Yeah.
But
there he is.
Hey, Dave. We was talking about the music video. I know you pretty much did most of the hard work on that.
Yeah, it's cutting out on my end. Sorry, y'all. My thing is cutting out here, so I'm kind of losing audio and video here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hear you now, though.
Cool.
What were we talking?
Yeah, Dave
about?
was there through all of the recording. Then go
on the video,
just for the part where we were playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, we were talking about the Sith video and then what it was like recording that video.
Oh man, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was Alan Ingalls with the Attention Company. He's really good, man, and he has a good eye for things. And I would kind of shoot him some ideas, and he would be like, "Let's try this," and we would go with it, So
yeah, I think the video came out really, really well, and it looks very professional. So I think that you definitely got your money's worth on the video.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's nice.
Cool.
Sure.
I like it.
So, guys, I work all the time, so I don't dig into quite as much music as Chris and Hop do. So, forgive me for that. They get all the credit for the stuff. What I noticed right away, I listened to Sith before I teed up the video at the beginning, and I'm saying this with all the respect I can say it with. I hear some Newstead mixed in there. I mean, it gave me a feel for that, both with the lyrics, the groove, and everything. And gosh, I just love that. I was telling Chris before you guys joined that might be the only member of the old school Metallica that I don't want to strangle. So
yeah.
That sounds well done.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, man.
So I wanted to touch base.
Cody, I'm sorry.
You go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, Cody and Goff, man, they're big Metallica fans. So.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm a big Jason fan, and like 80s Metallica.
Yeah.
After that, a little bit less.
Yeah.
You're there.
I like
And
most of
Newstead.
I like most of everything
Yeah.
except for like that. But of course, like my favorite Metallica stuff is definitely the old 80s stuff.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So while we're kind of on subject, what's your opinions on the new Metallica stuff that's out? Do you like the new album, or have you?
I like the new album. I thought it was pretty fucking good. Yeah.
Yeah, I've quite enjoyed it. I think it's not too bad. I think it's about the best Metallica we're going to get.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get anything heavier like the old stuff, but for what we're going to get, I think they've reached their plateau. And
yeah, it's all right. I like that Lex Eterna single. That was really groovy. The other songs, I still have to give it some more time, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've gave it a couple playthroughs. It's growing on me. It's definitely growing on me. All right, so let's touch base on the song "The Color Greed." Personally, I really like this song. It's got that dirty, sludgy, makes you curl your lip up and just bang your head. I like the psych. It ain't over quite yet there towards the end of the song. It just kind of like smacks you in the face and puts you back in line. Tell us a little bit about that song and how you got that song put together.
First of all, we wanted to go heavier, so we did a lower tuning. I'm pretty sure way lower than normal.
Yeah,
We're in B on that song.
Let's write a heavy one, really heavy.
Yeah, it's one of the 2 songs on the album that's in B. The other one is which one does it go?
Medicated Dead.
Medicated Dead. Yeah.
Medicated Dead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we tuned lower. I'm trying to think of the writing process on that song. It changed obviously a lot during its process. The bridge section where we kind of slow it down, that came later. That has almost like a clutch kind of vibe going on.
Or like a COC type thing.
Like a COD thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
It just came together.
Yeah, I feel like that bridge part was a piece of something totally different. And then we ended up just putting it into the song later.
Yeah.
Nope.
We lost Cody.
So, guys, I usually try to mix in something. Hop and String do a great job of asking music questions, and again, they're into that. I usually try to mix in some questions about the business side of it. And I heard you say, "Hey, we've about sold our first box." Talk to me just a little bit about the work that goes into it, because it's easy to look at it and say, "Oh, it's just playing music and it's fun." And if that's all you're doing, then gosh, nobody knows about you, right? So talk about that side of it.
Man, everything's social media obviously today, and that's I guess that's the most aggravating part of it, is just fighting with social media, trying to get your name out there. But also I guess the big part of how we promote things is just playing shows too, and it's it's hard, coming out of nowhere and just constantly hitting up places and hoping to hear back about a show. That's one of the more frustrating bits of it, I'd say. There's so many places that unless they've already heard of you, then they're not even going to message you back or give a shit.
Yeah.
But we've done pretty well. We've made a lot of contacts over the past few years and been getting out there more.
Awesome. And so I've asked other bands in previous interviews that we've done, and have you guys had any issues with some of the venues charging you for merch sales, or taking a portion of your merch sales or anything? I've heard that's kind of catching on, and a lot of places are starting to do that now.
Yeah, I've heard about it, but we haven't experienced that yet. And
that would not be cool.
We've talked about it, and there's no way in hell we just wouldn't do the show.
We'll just sell it in the parking lot if that's the case.
We'll go play the show, and then if they ask we got merch, we we can kind of secretly just hey, come over here.
It's crack,
go old school, sell it out of the trunk of the car. To me, it's bullshit. I don't agree with it at all. And really, if they want to pull that kind of shit, then they should, give you guys a portion of the alcohol sales, because obviously they're going to sell plenty of that.
They make a killing off of that shit anyway. With the upcharge, a mixed drink is $9. That's bullshit.
That is such bullshit. Yeah. But there is, there's one place, we're playing in Chattanooga, that Level Up, they are actually the people that book there. If you're the, the promoter or whatever, which we're the ones that book the show, then they actually give that band, the one that booked the show, a cut of the bar. So I'll give that to them. That's a really good thing. They get a percentage of that, and not many places do that, but Level Up in Chattanooga.
Yeah, because it's bad enough that you probably don't. Some shows you probably don't get paid hardly anything, and then you're hoping you sell enough merch there to make them look wild. So
there's a lot of
shows
doing that. Yeah, you don't get shit, but like we usually do we do pretty damn good on merch almost every show. So that's been good.
That's awesome. I like hearing that. So
yeah, we got some places that'll take a percentage out of the door cut, but sometimes that's kind of understandable anyways. But that's about all we have to deal with.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's always good if you can catch some of the door, but the more that they keep taking out of your pocket, it just makes it where a lot of bands just don't want to tour anymore. You know, just do stuff like streaming or whatever and help do what they can that way. And so
there's places that like sometimes they take, you know, 2 cuts from the door before they give it to bands, though. Then that kind of aggravates me. Like we got like a cut that goes to the bar, and then they're going to take a big chunk of it and give it to their sound guy. Like, and you know, if that's the deal, we'll just do our own sound, man. You know.
Yeah. And I guess a lot of places have their own sound guy and lighting if it's a big enough place where they have that. So it's kind of you never really know. Each place is so different. You never really know what the end result's going to be, because even they can tell you what they want when you're trying to book it, but by the time it's all said and done, when you're walking out the door, did you really get what you said they said they were going to do?
I mean, there's probably shows that the sound guy gets played a lot more than the bands do, you know. Which is
That can be a conversation we have after the fact, fellas. As I've learned, is it needs to be in writing. Contracts.
Yeah.
We will go into it here, but I'm happy to chat through that with you sometime when we're not live.
They could end up telling you one thing, and then when you get to the show, it's a totally different story.
We never said that. Bullshit. I got it in a text form right here, an email right here.
Like all the messages like about shows, like when we agree on things, I will screenshot stuff before we, go to the show. Be this is what we agreed upon,
Well, that's good. That's good to have in your back pocket there, because they're going to try anything they can to keep as much of that money as they can. So let's go with I want to get on Back at the Bottom, or B at B as it's listed on the CD. It's probably my favorite song on the album. It's got that mellow section. It's got the extremely heavy side to it at the same time. Has the fan response on this track been pretty positive, and kind of give us a little bit more history on this song here?
Man, that's one.
I missed which song?
Back at the Bottom.
Oh,
that's one that it's been like one of the first ones that we worked together with Dave, actually. So it's an old one, and like since the beginning, since the first shows, that's been like one of the favorites of people.
Well, since it's a slower song, sometimes I'm surprised about how big of a reaction we get to that song, but the outro on that song is so intense that it just kind of makes up for how slow that song is. And then also a lot of the people that local around here were really loved that song. And a lot of our older friends, that's the main song they talked about.
Oh yeah,
which actually kind of surprised me, because I was thinking it might be some other heavier songs. But it's a cool song.
Well, it definitely gets heavy. I mean, that's kind of what I think drew me into that song the most, is you got that mellow kind of side to it, and then it just pulls you over here and just, shreds you up and just chews you up and tries to spit you out. And then you kind of get that relaxing, cool down, and then come right back at you again. So, that's an older song of ours, like Cody was talking about. We've been working on that song gun for a while.
That was like the first 2 that we finished with Dave, like was Cosmic Guns and Back at the Bottom.
Yep.
So I want to get with the video for the Red Mountain. There was very beginning of the video, you kind of pan around, and it's got like stuff hanging on the walls and whatnot, and there's a set list there. And one of the songs on your set list is A New Level. So I'm assuming that's the Pantera.
Yeah.
So, man. I really enjoyed seeing that, because I think that your sound has that Southern kind of, whiskey drinking kind of sound to it that Pantera had, just that kind of heavy groove and all that stuff to it. Is there also in that video? There's a tag or a all access Pantera pass that's hanging on there. Is there a story or some cool story that's attached with that backstage pass?
Didn't that come from your house, Cody?
No, but I think that one comes from a magazine though.
Yeah, it came from a magazine, so it's not real.
It's not a real one.
It came from a special magazine.
Yeah, it was Revolver. It was Revolver magazine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know they've done some cool add-on stuff that they threw in. I think they had when Dimebag, they made a coin, I think one time, and I made sure I got that magazine. I don't remember if it was them or it was another magazine company, but a few of the magazine places had done cool stuff like that where they'll throw sticker sheets and stuff inside. So
yeah,
but it definitely looked cool and made a good visual for the video. So
but we're all huge, you know, Pantera fans. Like,
oh
I don't know if you can see the CFH.
Oh yeah,
tattoo on the arm. Yeah,
yeah. I think I noticed that in the video.
I do have a backstage pass right behind that for an Ozfest that I went to one year.
Awesome.
And so that's, you don't see it in the video, but it's actually right behind that. So
cool. Did you get to meet some cool bands in there?
To go backstage for some of the Ozfest stuff. I think that was 2004.
Gotcha.
I don't know if we had the signed Black Label poster up back then when we shot that video, but we got one of those up in the jam room too.
Yeah, you can see it right behind me actually.
Yeah,
the one he's talking about. There's a Black Label Society poster. It's signed and everything.
Yeah, I used to work. Well, Wes and I are both big Zakk Wylde fans, and yeah, he's got he's always got something cool to pop out. But I had done some. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
I had done some DJing at the local college radio station, and this was early on in the Black Label. I think this was on the, I want to say it was the second, the Stronger Than Death album. And so I got him into the studio and did like a little quick impromptu kind of like interview. And that was like my first time interviewing anybody. And of course I sucked. It really is not that great of an interview, but the fact that he was there and I got him in there, but he signed a bunch of stuff for us, and it was really cool. So he's a really cool cat, and definitely a big fan of Zakk and all of his Pride and Glory is probably one of my favorites that he's of his stuff. So,
man, I love that album. The Pride and Glory stuff. It's awesome.
Yeah, he's why I do harmonic pitches.
So for a New Jersey boy, he had some good Mississippi sound in that Pride and Glory, didn't he?
Oh, for sure.
Yes, for sure, man. For sure.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call Chris out on what he just said there. He said he sucked, how bad it was. So you guys playing bass and guitar, were y'all good the first time you started?
Oh, no.
No.
Right?
Practice makes perfect. Yep. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And me and Jody, we started playing like together when we were like 15, 16, So we, from the beginning, like we just kind of taught ourselves, and we sucked for quite a while, but we started the band right away. Like we could barely play, but we got another guy behind the drum kit that didn't know how to play drums, but was like, "You look like a drummer. Here, you play this."
Yeah, basically learned how to play guitar in a band because I didn't learn how to play guitar and join a band. I joined a band and learned a guitar at the same time. So it's not too great.
You're my hero. That's how I've done most everything in my life is say, yep, I figured it out, and I figured it out. Except for okay, now the dogs don't leave the room when I pick it up, but that's about as good as I've gotten.
Well, we like to think we get better with practice, but some things I'm not quite still there yet. But well, I guess staying on to kind of the Black Label thing, the song "Hey Man" has a pretty noticeable kind of a Zakk Wylde type kind of tone to it there. And I hear a lot of other influences within the album itself. I don't know, this might be a little far fetched, but I don't know if you're familiar with the KFD album from Wasp. It's kind of
Wasp.
a lot of people don't like that album.
Yeah.
That's actually one of my favorite albums, and I don't really like industrial music that much, but for some god awful reason, I still enjoy that album a lot. But
Yeah.
I definitely get that
They
vibe
love what
out
they
of some
love.
of the songs.
Yeah.
And I get the Jeff Hanneman's kind of groove to it. The Caius, you got that kind of, I don't know, like that southern kind of sound. Caius didn't really have, they were more of a California sound, but they still had that kind of sludgy southern sound to them. And we talked about Pantera and Zach. Who are some of your other ones as a band, as a whole or individually? Like, who are your biggest influences?
Oh man, like well, obviously, like we already talked about, like Pantera and Black Label, and of course Metallica. But Black Sabbath, of course, is a huge one. And Motorhead for me a lot, is specifically because the way I play bass, I play probably more like how Lemmy played. You know, like I like to use big chords, and I usually use a pick. You know, that's just how I've always done it.
Oh yeah, for me, Tony Iommi on guitar is one of my favorite guitarists of all time, and then also actually Kurt Hammock of Metallica. I've always really liked his stuff. Just Metallica, Black Label, and Black Sabbath too. My big main ones I've always listened to growing up and still do.
A lot of Slayer.
Oh yeah, and Slayer, of course.
Oh yeah.
Can't forget Slayer.
Yeah. But like talking about specifically, going back to Hey Man for a second, one thing like in that bridge that we always thought like it was kind of George Thorogood-ish, like when it gets to the breakdown, you know? Yeah.
Yep.
So Dave, as far as singers go, who are some of your bigger influences?
Man, I'm weird, dude. Like I like all sorts of music, all kinds. But I'd say like maybe for this band, you know, all the heavy metal greats, you know, Phil Anselmo. I love Dax Riggs from Acid Bath. Oh man, it's hard. I mean, I don't know. I love Slipknot. I love old school metal, you know. I love Motorhead too, by the way. There's a few songs that I feel like Lemmy is in there too vocally, you know what I mean? Like moments, the way I sing it, you know. So we joked about that in the studio actually. There's a couple of parts it's like the ghost of Lemmy or something, you know. It's weird.
It's been a running joke too that like we just say Dave secretly is Dax Riggs, because I mean if you ever look at like a picture of Dax Riggs, they look almost the same. Like didn't you say that somebody like when you went to see him, like they thought you was him?
Yeah, well, he was playing in Oxford, and I got there early to the bar, and there was these people that just kept staring at me from across the room, but they wouldn't come up to me and speak to me. And finally, one of them gets the courage, and he comes over, and he's like, "Are you?" And I just shook my head. I was like, "Nope." I was like, "I'm waiting on him to get here so I can see him too." But yeah,
you could have had some fun.
And
with
then
that.
we got drunk together later, and said that we convinced ourselves that we were cousins, like long distance. Yeah. Oh, they.
Well,
I don't know, man. I got a lot of influences, honestly, man. I love the Doors, you know, Led Zeppelin. I pull from everywhere, you know. And with us, it's the songs kind of develop. So I want to go back real quick to Back at the Bottom. Like that song took time, and we molded it live, you know. We had like a platform, but then we would do something different every time we played it live before we ever recorded it, you know. And it kind of became a song over time, you know. And now we still sort of do that in parts. We'll kind of just form, you know. I mean, it has a structure, but we always try to approach it different every time we play it. So,
well, I think that's kind of a cool. You know, a lot of bands they go in and they record the stuff, and it's kind of like you go in, you take 2, 3, 4, 5 months, whatever it takes to get it done. And it's like you don't have that opportunity to kind of play it live a bunch of times and over the course of a couple years or whatever, and that, it's good to kind of have that where you can hone it in and turn it into something completely different and still have, that growth within that song, and
oh yeah.
Sure.
And I think also going back to what you said, you have a wide range of musical tastes. I think a lot of bands actually have that, and I think that's kind of what really pulls those unique sounds that those bands are putting, the music that they're putting out there, because they're pulling from like maybe a countryside of this group or whatever, and you got the Pantera heavy over here, and you kind of mold that together, and it gives you something unique and different, and something that maybe a lot of the other bands aren't doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Every one of our songs feels different from the next. The one thing we've always talked about.
Yeah,
which I think is a good thing. Keep it, variety.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about the album too, that you have that variety within. You're not hearing the same song, 10 times over the course of the CD as you're playing it through. You get something different, and it's definitely, this song's got, man, like I hear this, or that I love this intro, and then wow, this is like totally different. So I really enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, cool.
So, guys, before we went live, I mentioned that we typically like to promote in some way, shape, or form. A lot of times I know some of the different outlets out there will take a lot of the margin, so you guys don't get to keep it as the bands that are really working your guts out to make it. So I've shared right now, you'll see on the screen the Linktree link, and I pulled that from your Facebook page, and next I'm going to show your Facebook page. So gosh, if you're watching this, I would encourage whomever's out there to follow the YouTube page, their Facebook page, and reach out to them. Just to let you know when we're done. I'm planning on ordering one, but I'd love to get it signed if you're willing to do something crazy like that.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
No problem, man. We actually, we talk about that all the time, and sometimes we sign them ahead of time. So we'll get you hooked up, man, for sure.
I did the impulse buy. I just bought it straight up. I forgot to even ask if I could get it signed. And definitely go buy that album, because it kicks ass and is definitely.
I'll sign that one for you, Chris, if you want.
So I gotta ask, because I don't know, maybe this is a thing. Have you gotten any takers on to give me a Jack and a Coke?
Oh, you mean like at a show? Or?
Well, yeah, like it's in the song, so I thought maybe somebody might have
bring you one.
We have, and we've also had a bartender literally think I was singing about her, and she got pissed.
She was pissed.
Shut us down. She got pissed off because she thought I was singing to her, and I'm like,
like he was making it up on the fly and just singing to the bartender.
Wow.
It's like, no.
Yeah, like
That's classic. That's definitely
she tried to shut us down, man, and I'm just like, I'm not talking about you, bitch.
It's part of the song.
Went from channeling Lemmy to channeling Adam Sandler.
Right.
So you, I'm not sure if I'm going to say his last name right, because I'm horrible at pronouncing the names. But Michael, is it Babe or Bab?
We always called him Bab.
Okay.
Yeah, Babs.
So he produced your album, and I think obviously the output, the final product, is very kick-ass. So you worked with him. What was that whole process like, working with him, and then I guess the kind of the recording process leading up to where he takes over and kind of does his thing to it?
Man, he's a really easy dude to work with. It's just, he made it fun. It was always a good time in the studio.
Oh yeah, he's good at what he does, and he knows the heavy
really
music.
Understands metal.
Yeah.
I took like a quick brief look on his channel, and I guess he does all kinds of all sorts of genres of music. So he does country and heavy metal and all kinds of stuff in between. But it definitely sounds like he knows how to work the heavy metal magic on the stuff.
Oh yeah, there's another band that what was it called? Medieval Steel, I think.
Medieval Steel, that he does them. Yeah,
he does them. Yeah, that's pretty badass.
I'll have to check them out.
They're
Yeah,
like
y'all
more
would like
popular
them.
in
They're
Germany.
like old school kind of sound. So
yeah, and yeah, they're really popular, like in Europe and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll definitely be checking that out then. So
it was a good process though, man. We had decided to go with him after we did our first little demo and try it out, and we did a single with him first. We did Blood Poison as a single to kind of see if we liked him, and after that we were just like, holy shit,
yeah,
we really, this is our guy that we need to stick with for a little bit, so
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
he understands the sound,
that's good. It makes it a lot easier on you guys when you got somebody that you can, coexist with there, and he knows how to work you, and you know how to put it out there, and you feed him what he wants. So
yeah, for sure.
So I see that you guys are playing the Tennessee Metal Devastation Music Festival in October, and this will be your second time playing there.
Yep.
And that took me a minute to put two and two together there, but that's Zach's thing for the Metal Devastation PR group that you're all with.
Yep.
Yeah,
pretty good
Zach and
turnout at these
Raven,
things.
man, they're
this past one, there was a total of throughout the day and everything, there was a total of 1,200 people showed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
For underground metal music in the South, that's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I was looking up. It's kind of a little bit out of my range to go to that one, and I was actually trying. My wife and I, we're going on vacation. We're going to swing down to Texas and cycle back up through and kind of come through around Georgia and Mississippi and whatnot. And so I was trying to hope I could maybe see if I could work something and catch you guys on. But I think the dates that you have right now, it's all a little further out because we're going next month. So,
yeah. Yeah, we ain't got nothing. Well, yeah, we don't have nothing for next month, I don't think.
So if I were Chris, I'd be saying, "Hey guys, if I'm coming nearby, can I sit in on one of your practices?"
Yeah,
that's what I'd be asking.
That might be cool.
Yeah, man,
that'd be fine.
Because the worst you can do,
we'd be down.
Yeah,
we'd be down.
We'll have to see. We'll see how the logistics works as I'm crossing my paths, and my wife keeps changing it up on me, so I'm not sure exactly what days we're coming through there now. But if I can work it out, maybe I'll shoot you a message, and maybe we can swing by there and just nothing else, say hey and drink a beer or something.
Yeah, man.
You could get your CD and your shirt signed. Then.
There you go.
Yeah.
No pressure.
There you go. Absolutely. So also, I guess let me see. I messed up my notes here. Dave, you did a song with a young 16-year-old musician on a song called Morphine. You did the vocals for that. I'm assuming that you met him through Metal Devastation, but did he reach out to you and then ask you to join him on that song? Nope. Did we lose him?
All right, so Jack actually plays bass in another band that Cody and I have called Daypay, and it's kind of a cover band, which we've written a few originals too, but we play a lot of the local bars and stuff. It's kind of a way for us to make some income, at home and pay the bills. And Jack, he's played bass with us now for several years. He started with us when he was 13. So he's phenomenal. He can pretty much play in any instrument, but anyway, so the story with that is like, I wrote that song based on my brother and a guy named Dalton Black from Nashville. They had written this song, and it was just like 3 chords, very country sounding, and they just weren't happy with it, So Jack and I were jamming here at the jam room one night, and his brother was here, and we were just playing heavy stuff, just practicing, jamming. And I started singing metal, whatever. And his brother Chris was just like, yes, this is the song. Y'all need to do it. You need to do it. So I kind of rewrote the song. I did all the lyrics. I did all the rhythm. I wrote all the riffs, and then Jack came in and he laid down the drums, lead guitar part, and another rhythm track, and that was that song. So you know, I had a big hand in writing it, but we released it as a Jack Iyer release because he needed to get his stuff rolling. So, hello.
Yep.
Yeah, we lost you a little bit there.
We heard most of that story though.
Yeah. So let me ask.
Okay. Yeah, I'm cutting out, so sorry if you lost some of that.
I need to ask a question based on what you just shared, Dave. So I heard you say that he plays bass in another band with you and Cody. So Cody, what else do you play?
Oh, yeah, I play guitar, which I played guitar for years before I switched to bass. Like, me and Jody had another band called Southern Brutality, and like we just kept going through bass players. And he, like I was just like, I'm just done looking for bass players, man. Like, just give me the damn bass, I always kind of dabbled in bass anyway. Before then, I always liked playing it, so it's like I just fine, I'm just tired of looking. But yeah, in Daypay, I play lead guitar.
And I'm sorry.
I was going to say that you find that people have issues with finding bass players, and you hear a lot of people talking about they started on guitar and they worked themselves to a bass because they couldn't find a bass player. So
yeah, man, like it happens all the time. Like nobody, I guess there's so many guitar players. Anybody that tells me that they're about to learn how to play guitar, I tell them you need to learn how to play bass, man. There's enough of us guitar players.
Yeah, they're definitely everywhere.
Yeah, either play bass or get a drum kit.
Yeah. Wes, you was going to mention something there a while ago.
Well, I heard Dave say that he put the rhythm tracks together too. So I mean, again, I don't have a big background for your music, and I'm seeing the Sith video. Dave, you're just singing in that. Do you play rhythm live?
Not for the Red Mountain. I just do vocals for this band. But in Daypay, I do like some rhythm guitar and singing.
Got it. You got kind of the Miles Kennedy thing going on. So sometimes you'll sing, sometimes you'll play rhythm.
Man, I suck at guitar, but I'm trying to learn.
I resemble that statement.
No, man, I appreciate it though.
So I know that you had 2 shows coming up in July. You had one in Chattanooga in, I guess that show, or the show in Chattanooga is coming up at the end of this month, I think it was.
Yeah,
and then you had
Friday.
2 shows in July in Tennessee, I think it was. And I noticed that one of the shows you're playing with Jack, and I guess and his band will be playing there. And do you guys y'all have much around your area where you're actually from? I mean, do y'all have to pretty much travel to get to any place to play?
We pretty much have to travel to go anywhere, but like the one you're talking about though with Jack Iyer though, it is like right here, like in Corinth, Mississippi. But that's because anytime we do anything around here, we're usually the ones putting it together. There's no but there used to be a scene out here at one time, but that's come and gone a long time ago now. So like we have to put things together and promote it and things. So we've done pretty good. Like back around Halloween we did Grayfest, and that turned out good. We've done a few years ago we did like a thing around Valentine's Day that actually was it wasn't like a big crowd, but it was a small building. It just felt like a big party, Yeah, and this at V Taco out in Corinth, this will be the first time they've had any kind of heavy music out there. But me and Dave, our other band plays there regularly, and we've gotten to know the people there, and so like we was able to just put this together. And they was wanting to. I mean, they know us. They know of the Red Mountain. They just want to hear Red Mountain there, So like, to be the first thing there, it'll be us and Die with Nature and Jack Iyer. Die with Nature's out of Jackson, Mississippi.
Okay, well that's cool, and that's good to see that venue is trying to expand a little bit and maybe get the different crowds to come in. So
I'm hoping if it goes well that maybe we can do something there, like every couple of months or so, every few months maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm sure it'll be a good I mean, if there's nothing really else around, I'm sure that'll be a good crowd of people that want to come out and see you guys and help support and keep the shows coming. That way that the venue can keep doing those heavier shows like that.
I'm actually going to go here in a bit and print out flyers for that one. Get those out pretty soon.
So, guys, again, as we're kind of wrapping up here shortly, I'll say that anybody watching this, we just encourage you to follow them on their channels, like them. I mean, that's how things get done in this industry. One of the questions I've got, I heard you guys say that you play in another band together, and it's just to help pay the bills and stuff. What else do you do? What's your work life like? Because most everybody we've ever been around has to carry another job until they make it. So, what's that look like for you guys?
For me, it's mostly just music, and I do a little bit of I do a little bit of like guitar lessons.
Cool.
But I'm also like, it's hard for me to work a regular job. I got back and knee issues,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, for me, it's just music and guitar lessons.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
And I work at KFC.
Oh, sweet.
And that's about it. Just KFC and music.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of the KFCs have actually closed up.
So,
we're still kind of fortunate to have one, but go ahead, Dave.
I was just going to say, so like I actually host karaoke on the side a few nights a week. And of course, Cody and I have the Day Pay band, and we try to do several of those a month, bring in some extra too. But I also have like a lawn business on the side, like lawn care during the summer.
Hey, and please understand,
So,
guys, I don't
gotta make ends meet.
Yeah,
man.
It's a hustle anyway. So I ask it because my wife and I work together.
Yeah.
And there's no way we could do what we do if we're not hustling all the time. So I'm absolutely with you.
Yeah.
God, but well done.
Oh yeah, there ain't no money in the music, at least heavy music.
Yeah.
Unless you're really lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, you really got.
You just gotta really love it to keep doing it, because it ain't gonna make you pay your bills.
No.
Not usually.
Well, I mean, I look back at some of the notes that Chris had, and he asked you this. It sounds like you guys kind of formed initially in 2015. Well, that's when my wife and I started our business too. And 8 years in, I think 22 was our best year, and it was still about half of what we made when we still had full-time jobs.
Yeah.
So it's okay, but it's still kind of like you better love it, or you gotta do it.
Yeah.
No, I'm tracking with you 100%.
Yeah. And then Hopper he's not here with us today. He had a prior engagement, so he couldn't make it. But that's what he and I work together. We have factory jobs, and so we're night shifters. We do our thing at night during Monday through Thursdays, and then we have our weekends to do whatever. But he does mowing on the side as well, so he has his little side hustle as well. So
I'll say praise God for his side hustle, because that means I don't mow my yard.
Yeah. So he mows for Wes. So
Nice. I love you, Hop. If you're seeing this,
cool.
You're the best. So, fellas, is there anything that you'd like to close with or wrap up on? I'll ask for you to stay on just a few minutes after we end the live feed, just to run through some logistics. But is there anything you want anybody watching to catch before we close?
I'd say, if you're in the area next Friday, Chattanooga, it's Level Up. It's like an arcade / bar type place, So it looks like it's going to be. It's our first time playing there. It looks like it's going to be awesome, though. Cool. It's us and Silence and Tempest.
Sounds like a cool venue too.
Yeah.
And I guess just keep a lookout on our social medias, buy merch, and maybe we got some new music coming out in the next few months, maybe next few years. I don't know, but we're still working at it. And we might have some stuff come out.
And I've said it a couple times. I'll say
come
it one
to
last
a
time.
show.
Yes.
Amen.
I'll say it one last time. If you're seeing this, connect with these guys, like, follow them, do that stuff to help get the word out. Gosh, I'm going to say, I'll go so far as to say, you don't have to be their fan to click the like button.
Amen.
I mean, it's part of the business. I mean, it helps, it gets the analytics and so on, but support local music, guys.
Yes. And go buy Alpha, because this, let me get my camera right here. Go buy this album because it kicks ass. So. I'm going to help promote all I can.
We appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely go under their Facebook page, and there's a merch section there. You could go in there. There's the Wes posted the LinkedIn thing there too. Yes, definitely go help support local music. Go find the bands out there. Go watch them play live. Help support it. It helps them in the end, and it helps get that music out there. So we can't get enough of the good heavy music like this. So we want to get it. So.
Great to connect with you guys again. I'll close the live feed now, but hang tight just a second. We'll run through some logistics about getting you the downloads and whatnot, and we'll go from there. But really appreciate meeting you guys.
All right. Thank you, man.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for everybody for hanging out with us today.
Yeah.
Keep
climbing.